and I'm going to tell you what they fucking mean.
Roadman.
Roadman.
Can I ask any questions? Do I get anything at all?
You get one question, but every question you ask me, right, you got to take a huge puff after we're done the podcast.
What the fuck? I was gonna say, like, is this like a spelling bee? We can ask, like, use it in a sentence.
Okay, cool.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you guys, if I see that you're abusing that shit, you're gonna have to take puffs.
Okay, use it in a sentence.
Okay. I saw the roadman across the street.
Oh shit. Okay, good one. I'm thinking that is a male prostitute who travels.
We're gonna have real sound effects soon, guys. I promise.
What you got? What
it is a foot soldier.
A foot soldier?
Yeah.
Like drug
Dealer.
Fuck.
Drug mule.
That's a footman.
Footman.
Goddamn.
That's a road. It's called Roadman actually.
Roadman.
And this is highly used in
Did I just say
southern.
footman?
Yeah, footman.
They got feet now.
Grade digger, like grade, like GPA grade.
Yeah. Grade digger.
Yeah.
I'll go with construction worker.
Is that your final decision?
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum.
Fuck's sakes.
You know what it is?
What?
Okay, you know how super hot chicks, we knew some of them, right? And they were randomly talking to like a buddy of yours or something.
Sure.
You were like, yo, what is so-and-so? Why are they talking to you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they just wanted to check their homework. So they're only talking to you because of the homework. If you hit them up on social media and stuff, these same girls, they won't give you the time of day. But in school, when they got to come in, right, they're thinking about being independent.
Yeah.
MILFs.
MILFs. Can you spell that?
MILVES. This is so easy. Don't even think so hard.
MILFs.
So MILFs are just plural MILFs. A group of MILFs.
That's it?
That's it. That's why I was telling
Why
you,
there
like,
a
don't
V
think
there?
so hard. Huh?
Why is there a V?
MILF?
Yeah?
MILVs.
That's so stupid.
Calf?
That's
calves.
so fucking stupid.
Okay, guys. So we're going to get into some serious fucking business, okay?
Serious?
Some serial business. And this shit is for real, man. This stuff is kind of hard to hear, man. You know, I have ties with this country, and it's hard to see it go down the way it is. And I hope all the people that this is affected, I hope you find a light at the end of the tunnel. As cliche as that may sound, that's pretty much all I could say, man. All I could do. So as we know, there was an attack on the Kabul airport on Thursday.
Yeah.
And, you know, our hearts are out with the families and the loved ones of the people that died. Among the 170 or over 170 that died, 10 people that died were actual American service workers.
That's right.
Yeah, just a fucking tragedy. However, as we know, Afghans are fleeing the fucking country by the thousands.
Literally thousands.
Literally by the
literally
thousands. And the attack was done apparently, allegedly by ISIS. I don't know.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that it was like a branch of the Islamic State. I don't think they haven't claimed credit for it yet, though, right? It's just rumored so far.
This is all alleged so far.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, news is like people think we're all worldwide and everything's on a world market, but it's like if something happens there today, we're gonna hear about it tomorrow, even now.
Yeah.
Even at this
I
rate.
believe that. Yeah.
So it is what it is, but that's the rate that they're doing it. A few companies have stepped forward so far. Two to be announced is Airbnb.
Yeah.
They have they're going to host 20,000 Afghanis worldwide.
All
apparently.
over.
I'm guessing more North America than anywhere else, but yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, to be able to organize that. I mean, I wonder how they're gonna get into that logistically speaking, but I mean, them willing to even like consider that and put that on the table is big.
Yeah, shout out to them. And the other one is going to be Mexico. Mexico is taking
Was it 10,000?
No, 100 of the best journalists.
Okay.
And taking them over. And I know these numbers don't sound, great, but just understand, like, for them to reach out and make an advance to get you somewhere is unheard of in this world.
Yeah.
Nobody's given anything. Like, I've lived this life and I've been given nothing. So, and I'm sure that you're the same thing. You've worked hard for what you have. I mean, your parents do set you up in a certain way, but you know, as minorities, they can only do fucking so much. So
True.
when you see Mexico fucking putting out their hand and being like 100 of you journalists, 100 of the smartest minds come over here, it's kind of like what happened to Germany after World War II.
Yep.
And all these other, you know, I guess they're, what would you call these guys?
You talking about like the people who survived and left? Refugees? Or
No. Like the smartest minds.
Scholars?
Scholars.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, the guys with the red plates, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see in Vancouver and shit?
Yeah, yeah.
The guys with the red plates and shit. So, yeah, so those guys get, like, basically, it's like the smartest kids go to the Ivy schools.
That's right, yeah.
And they get scouted. So this is what's happening. So shout out to them. Yeah, so apparently the Taliban is celebrating their victory, which is not that great of a fucking victory if all these people are fleeing for a fucking reason.
Well, what I have found interesting is that at the beginning of this whole thing, and I even mentioned it on the previous podcast, was that I thought, or I felt rather, that they were going about it pretty, I don't want to say like peaceful, but they weren't really pushing to like kill people right away. They were letting people leave because they're like, hey, if you want to go, fucking makes our job easier because we don't have to like deal with your shit if you're staying here, whether it's killing you or like forcing you to like comply with what we want. But if you're already set to leave, then fucking leave. And they weren't really stopping that process, even though like it looked really, really bad. It looked super chaotic because obviously everyone wants to leave, but there's only so many fucking planes. Like, even if that shit happened here, where not because of like a fucking military presence coming on, but if everyone in Vancouver just decided to leave right away, the airport will look the exact same as Kabul. Well, fucking imagine 100,000 people trying to get into YVR. There's no way. It'll just look chaotic. But outside of that, once things calmed down, it seemed to be pretty like they weren't really aggressive or violent towards the Afghanis who were leaving. But now it almost seems like they're starting to lay down the law a bit more.
Yeah.
And that's what I found interesting because it's only taken like a week for that shit to happen.
That shift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, man.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, honestly, for the Afghanis, like, hopefully that shit, it's not too bad because they've been through a lot already. They've been through enough shit.
Yeah, hearts go out to the Afghanis and the American service workers that had died this Thursday. Shout out to your families and your loved ones, man. It's pretty tragic. Did you hear what Biden had to say about this?
I saw him cry.
You saw him cry?
For the servicemen, yeah.
This was somebody with the fucking Aqua Fresh on the top dripping on his fucking cheek or what?
Might have been. I know one of his kids was in the army. I think that's why. A bit closer for him than it would be for others.
It's I don't want to fly on a plane and go far. I want to kind of stay in the Middle East. Okay?
What do you mean?
So as we know, worldwide, July has been one of the hottest times. We've set records.
Oh, for sure.
Worldwide, even within Canada.
And that's something that I didn't even realize because I've been so, like, BC centric. I'm like, oh yeah, it's been terrible here. World, fucking records for us all time. 40+ degree weather and all that stuff. But I didn't even consider the fact that it's probably been pretty bad in other places.
Yeah.
Like the rest of North America, probably South America as well. Middle East, Asia, right?
All that. So basically what's happened is that there's a lake called Lake Urmia.
Okay. Where's this?
And this is basically Iran, Iraq area.
Okay. Kind of like on the border?
Yeah. So basically they have they used to have tourist attractions, restaurants, whatnot. And it was a lake that in the past 20 years, so from 1990 to 2021, it has decreased in half.
In 30 years?
In 30 years.
Half.
In half.
How big is this lake compared to some of the local lakes here? Give me an idea there. Like Harrison big? Because that's a big lake.
No, we're talking like...
Pitt Lake?
Like Lake Ontario.
That's fucking huge, bro. It's that big?
I might not be that big.
That's big.
Let's hold on.
Like those lakes, Ontario, Superior, but those are like almost ocean level big. When you get there, they feel like the ocean because you can't actually see the end of it.
So this is where it is.
Holy fuck, that's huge.
So this is
Zoom,
the
zoom
lake.
out a bit. I guess it's not. Fuck, that's hard to tell, man.
Hold on, we're gonna go here.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, it's not even close. So basically, it's like 1/8 of Lake Superior.
I would say it's probably like Harris, maybe bigger than Harrison.
It's definitely bigger
Because
than
Harrison's pretty big.
Yeah. So generally, we kind of get the idea.
Still decent
still a
size.
big fucking.
That's why I was
area.
like, the fuck, because like
Yeah.
those lakes, the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
When you stand, you literally can't see.
I understand.
It's like it's fucked up. They have their own weather systems.
Yeah.
Anyways, but half in 30 years.
30 years.
Fucking hell, man, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So it's brutal because.
And is it just straight up because of the heat, or is it like one other
the
reason?
heat? The heat.
So it's just literally evaporated.
Yeah, evaporated.
What the fuck, man?
And the thing is like there is obviously when that much water evaporates, it's not like it's gone to fucking space.
Yeah.
Okay, for these flat fucking earthers, you fucked, get out of your mom's basement. What happens is, then you'll have a series of extreme rains,
Yeah.
which will cause
it starts
flooding,
affecting the rest of the
like
area.
China.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard about what China? There's a lot of flooding there going on.
Pretty bad.
And even the United States, there's lots of flooding going on. So that's what's going to happen in these areas. And a lot of the civilization can't resist that kind of weather change. A lot of the tourist attractions, a lot of restaurants, a lot of these things, once the money's no longer coming in, such as COVID times, these places are going to close down and move. So eventually, I think what a safe bet or a safe notion to rely on is like generally, let's say 300, 400, 500 years from now, everybody's going to be living either on the coast or
it's just
somewhere
gonna be
with
a continued migration of people to water, to like the sea, basically.
yeah,
to
and
the
then,
ocean.
and then they're gonna get pushed back as the water levels rises.
Yeah.
And eventually, either there's gonna be a new ice age, or if we even live to see that day, see what happens. But basically, we're gonna have to live on the coast and keep moving back until we get to the middle of the countries, middle of the continents and stuff.
Well, it at that point it won't be the middle anymore. That'll be the new edge.
Yeah,
right?
it'll be exactly the new
crazy.
coastline.
What used to be the middle. Yeah. It'll be a new coastline.
And then with that, there's obviously going to be like once the water levels are so high that the middle of continents are the only thing surviving. There's going to be a huge ice age. There's going to be huge reset of snow, and then boom.
And that's going to happen in 5 years.
I have a little section of relationship advice. We're going to go through sections. Do you care how much a girl makes?
Yes and no.
Explain.
There is a point at which I care in the sense that it helps us leverage more. Like as a couple, it helps us leverage more.
Right.
To get better things, whether it's a better home, whether it's better amenities, stuff like that. So to a degree, yes, but to a degree, no, because I know I'll probably have to bear the brunt of that, like the majority of it.
Right.
But to a degree, yes, it does help.
So do you ever see yourself dating somebody that makes more money than you?
Sure.
And you have no problem with getting demasculinized?
That if financial worth is what drives your masculinity, I think you have bigger internal problems. Personally speaking, that's what I think.
So you don't think that like somebody that makes more money is more masculine?
No.
Because what is making more money to you?
What do you mean? Like, what does it mean?
What do you think of it? Like, what do you think of if you had to make an equation of what making money is? Do you think money is the end goal, or is
money's a tool? Is what I think it is.
Okay.
But having the best tools does not mean you're going to be the best craftsman,
okay.
and you know this.
I know this, but I'm gonna go on a different conjunction.
Because I know a lot of guys who make more money than you,
yeah.
and you would not describe them as more masculine than you.
For sure.
So then at that point,
I'm
what do you
talking
say?
about you got to understand, like every man is just born with characteristics of masculinity.
Unless
whether
you're
that's
saying
traditional or
the same
non-traditional.
person, like if you right now versus you, but you're making
that's
more.
That's where I'm going at.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So money is actually the end product. Money is just a bonus. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Things that come with money that you have to make money are the masculine properties. Does that make sense?
To a degree.
Okay. So being an entrepreneur, being able to sell, being able to market, being able to have an idea, being able to chase, being able to be ambitious. These are all masculine properties, right? Now, you can't compare yourself with me, or I can't compare myself with fucking the next alpha guy, or whatever the fuck, and vice versa, right? So that's not what we're comparing. We're comparing you, Hector, now to you, Hector, as an entrepreneur that's, you know, like Gary Vee with a fucking
Okay.
$100 million net worth, or whatever, $1 million net worth.
Yeah.
Whatever the case might be. To get from you to there, you will increase your masculinity, is my point. The money is the end goal. You might not get the money, but you might get the skills and the determination and all those driving factors that make you masculine.
Sure.
That's my point.
Yeah,
so,
but that's me. But your question wasn't that. Your question was that your partner having more, making more, is going to somehow emasculate you.
Okay, so this is
I don't share that opinion.
Okay, this is why I go for that opinion. Okay, so you talked about how if a woman makes a certain amount of money, too much money, you're gonna have to deal with the burdens of that.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, well, the side effects, let's say, right? Because she's gonna have to, obviously, it's gonna turn into, like, if you're trying to make more money, right? If you're trying to make more money, you got to do more overtime. You got to be more at work. She's not going to see you as much. People don't understand the lifestyle of guys that are like millionaires or guys that are like high paid guys. They're usually never home. Like if you're talking about a guy that has multiple sources of income, usually he's investing into that a lot of time, right? Initially, we have a buddy that did that. I remember with dealing, I had to do that a lot.
Yeah.
I was up at fucking 4 a.m. and then up again at fucking 7. Right, so that's the name of the game. Your loved one is not going to see you as much as you think they're going to see you. If that's the track of life. Now, if you're trying to work a 9 to 5, different fucking story, right? Different fucking story. You're gonna have life balance. You're gonna have that, but it all comes down to what you're trying to chase. There's no right way, wrong way. I'm just trying to describe you a scenario of what would happen. Now, as far as her making more money than you and it demasculinizing you, okay. For example,
it's called emasculating.
Sorry, emasculating.
Yeah.
Everybody trades gifts.
Sure.
Especially in, traditional places. Men usually get gifts for women to show their appreciation for assisting them in, like, whatever. Traditional marriages are basically the woman helps the man achieve what he wants. The woman makes the man's life easier as the man makes the world easier. This is generally the way it goes. Like, you have inventors and then you have, like, strong women behind them that, like, help their life easier, whether that's making a sandwich, whether that's fucking silence, whether that's cleaning the house, whether that's helping them with the business, whether that's taking care of the kids, whatever the case may be, whether that's working in a fucking other job, who the fuck knows? But it's making the man's life easier. Now, if you are like the top tier guy, you need a lot of time to work. So you need to have a woman that is doing that. When she starts going in her business and taking time away from you, and then you start helping her. So the roles have changed.
If homegirl's just making 100 G's and I'm making 80 G's, whatever. I don't, great. Like, that's okay. There's other things that I bring to the table that make me a masculine man more than just the paycheck that comes in every 2 weeks. Now, if you're talking about time being taken away from other responsibilities that'll typically be associated with this woman, that's a different story. Because that's a different conversation that needs to be had with this woman at that point, right? So, for example, if now we're going to have kids.
Right.
And you don't want to take care of it because you have your job to take care of, your professional life. Listen, you are making a choice, or we are making a choice to have a kid. That choice comes with certain outcomes. And they can't be denied. I'm a professional woman, working woman. It's like, hey, listen, honey, I'm sorry, but if we're going to have kids, you're going to have to fucking leave your job for a bit, take mat leave, do the thing like that. That's what motherhood is. You're going to have to embrace that role as your life. You will forever now be a mom.
Right.
If you're not ready to accept that,
right,
we can't fucking do this.
Okay.
It's straight up. That's just, that's not going to fly with me, because you can't just be like, oh yeah, I want a kid, but you got to stay home because I want to I want to be CEO in a few years.
Right.
That's great. You want to be CEO? The door's right there, but I'm not going to be sitting here while you just abandon motherhood.
All right.
And I'm suddenly going to become dad and mom.
Okay.
That's not happening.
So you have this say if you're making more money. If she's making more money, then you don't have this say, though.
So you mean this? Sorry, you mean this opinion?
You can't even. You might have the opinion, but you're in the wrong, because if she's making more money, it's more valuable that you stay home. If you're making less money and be the stay-home dad.
That's not my problem. That's not my problem. Like, if you want to become a mother, doesn't matter that you're making more money. You may be making twice as much as I am, but being a mother trumps all that. And if you don't believe so, then like we got to go our separate ways.
I think there's two ways of looking at this. I think the reason I started this question initially was because I wanted to run into the scenario where you are making less money, but you're also trying to call a shot. And from what I've seen and what I've heard, that usually doesn't fucking work, because I'm not talking about like traditional women.
Sure.
I'm talking about modern women will use your ideology against yourself. She'll say something like, okay, but I'm making more money. So if you're trying to talk about traditional roles, you're not doing your traditional as a man. You're not earning more money than me. Therefore, you would have to stay home, because whatever the consensus is as far as her role as a mother, now that she's making more money than you, she has to pay for the family for a certain amount of time.
Sure.
So as far as the family as a whole, financially will be more productive for them if she went to work rather than you. What do you say to that?
No. I already have my opinion. I don't need to.
I understand your opinion.
I wouldn't. No, like I'm not talking like to you. I'm talking about like this imaginary scenario that you're talking about. That's great, but like that's just not how it's gonna roll. And we probably would have already had this discussion way in advance,
I
right?
understand. We're just
so
trying
like
to run a scenario.
we wouldn't even get to that point where that's even going to become like an issue, because the more serious you get with this girl, the more you're gonna have to start having these conversations where it's like, okay, like the other. When you first start seeing your girl, you're not going to be like, hey, how much you make? Like, you're going to generally find that out later on. Because you find out where she works. But she's not going to tell you, oh, yeah, I'm making 85 grand or whatever. That's not a second date question. That's like a later on questions.
Yeah, but first date, you'll be like, hey, what do you do for work?
That's great.
I work at Google.
I work in an ad agency. Dude, she could be making 45, could be making 145. You don't know.
Yeah, but certain things give it away, no?
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, listen, if she comes in like, look, I work for Google as a software dev. Okay, I know what I'm
staying
I know
at home.
I know what I'm getting into, okay?
I'm staying at home.
That's a difference. Like I know what I'm getting into at that point. To get involved with people in the same economy class, if that makes sense.
I would disagree.
I'm talking about majority of the time. I'm not talking like you will have your typical outliers, in the sense like you have obviously a lot of guys who are well off. Obviously, they're not going to get involved with girls who are well off. But I'm talking like your middle of the pack, like your average, salaries, whatever. Typically, you're getting involved with similar kinds of people. I don't want to say like class wise, but you kind of know what I'm saying here. Like,
I understand. I don't disagree generally, but I think women date up.
No, women date up, sure, but what I mean is like people generally fuck with their own kind of people, if that makes sense. In a lot of things. In a lot of ways. So whether it's ethnicities, whether it's like cultures, whether it's,
I guess, yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying all the time, and I'm not saying that there are situations where for one kind they will always go for something that's like totally different. So for example, there's a lot of guys who got well off really quick that want to date kind of like a trophy wife kind of thing, or like a really good looking broad,
right?
Who obviously like really doesn't earn much, but like it's great to have,
what it is.
Right? But I'm talking like your regular Joe kind of guy, who's
average guy.
Yeah, I'm talking like your legit average Joe is generally gonna get with a legit average Jill. You know what I mean? Like, he's not gonna try and level up too much, because honestly he can't. He's just an average Joe. There's nothing wrong with that. And he's not really gonna go like way down the pack, because there's enough average Jills out there that he can get with. And in terms of like the money discrepancy, it's generally just gonna be like pretty typical. Like, he's gonna make more than her, not by a lot, but like a noticeable amount.
So like 80-50.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, like an 80-60 or 80-50. Like that's like a typical North American situation.
Right. So I have one question, and I'm not gonna ask the actual name of these people or anything like that, but of recent someone we know in distance has gotten married. I'm gonna show you the fucking thing, and you tell me if they were married for love.
Okay. Okay.
Because you've seen this motherfucker. This motherfucker's ears are goofy. This guy looks like literally, I'm not gonna say his ethnicity because it's probably gonna go.
Yeah,
into
that gives it away.
But
Don't.
his style is goofy.
Sure.
He is goofy from Disney.
He's a big dude though.
For that ethnicity as well.
Like big dude.
Big dude.
Like big dude.
But he's not the most athletic, so I don't think it's like he's getting mad pipes or something like that. You know, I don't think that's what it is.
Maybe he's got a huge cock.
I don't think so.
Could you imagine though? Like also just like
no way,
fucking slinging.
No way,
slinging.
No way. I think it has to do with 100% money. I think what women look for is finances is probably up there. I think most women will once they want to settle down, they will go with the guy that makes more money and it looks like shit.
I think not so much the finances, but always the biggest one that seems to be common is security.
I mean, same thing.
Because that's not the same. You can have someone who's well off financially, but they are not secure.
Yeah, like, but what I mean by finances, if you want to go into depth, it's gonna go.
Kind of
based
what
on
I was gonna
you're
say is that like you can have financial security and not be wealthy. Does that make sense? Like you can be secure because you have a set lifestyle. Mm-hmm. You then you compare that lifestyle with somebody else, and it's like, well, this guy's not that impressive. This guy, oh, look at this. Mm. Yeah, but that guy's not that secure because he's kind of a fucking idiot with his finances.
Right.
Not like he's fucking homeless, but he's kind of a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Versus this guy, you know that maybe he's not making the most, not the star player, but this guy, fucking, he's a rock.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I know. This guy's a rock.
Yeah.
You can always count on him. It's not gonna be super impressive.
Yeah.